Most senior homeowners in America believe that once they pay off their mortgage, their home is completely and permanently theirs. No bank, no lender, no payments. It's just a paid-off house sitting in their name that they plan to pass down to their children and grandchildren. But there are 5 states in America that have quietly built legal systems allowing them to take thousands of dollars in home equity directly from senior homeowners every single year. We are not talking about eminent domain. We're not talking about foreclosure for missing mortgage payments. We're talking about property tax mechanisms, fee structures, deferral traps that drain $4,000 or more from seniors. Who did everything right? Today we are going to name all 5 states, explain exactly how each system works, and give you the specific steps you can take this week to protect your home equity before any of these mechanisms catch you. The story starts with a Supreme Court case that most Americans never heard about, but that changed everything for senior homeowners across the country. In May 2023, the United States Supreme Court decided a case called Tyler v. Hennepin County. In a unanimous ruling, Geraldine Tyler was a 94-year-old woman in Minnesota who owed around $2,300 in unpaid property taxes on her condo. The county seized her condo, sold it for $40,000, paid off the tax debt, and then kept every single remaining dollar of equity for itself. Geraldine Tyler received nothing. Not a check, not a refund, not a penny of the nearly $38,000 in equity that belonged to her. The Supreme Court ruled unanimously that this was unconstitutional under the Takings Clause of the Fifth Amendment. The government cannot take more from you than what you actually owe. Any surplus equity belongs to the homeowner. This ruling was celebrated as a massive victory for senior homeowners across America, but it did not stop everything that was happening to senior home equity. What Tyler v. Hennepin stopped was the outright keeping of surplus equity after a tax sale by local governments. What it did not stop was the mountain of fees, interest charges, penalties, and program traps that continued to quietly drain thousands of dollars from senior homeowners in 5 specific states every single year. The first state is Nebraska, and it operates one of the most aggressive tax certificate sales systems in the entire country. When a Nebraska homeowner falls behind on property taxes, the county sells a tax certificate to a private investor at a public auction. That investor pays the outstanding tax debt and receives the legal right to collect that debt back from the homeowner with 14% statutory interest added on top of everything owed. 14% annual interest on a property tax debt is an enormous and crushing burden for a senior living on a fixed Social Security income with limited savings. If the homeowner cannot pay back the certificate holder within the required redemption period, the investor can begin the legal process of taking the home entirely away from that senior. Many Nebraska seniors discover the full extent of what they owe only after the interest has already compounded into a number they simply cannot afford to repay under any circumstances. The second state is New Jersey, and the problem centers around a program that sounds helpful on paper but contains a structural flaw that makes it nearly inaccessible for seniors on fixed income. New Jersey has one of the highest property tax burdens of any state in the country, with average annual bills regularly exceeding $8,000 to $10,000 per household every single year. To help seniors cope with this crushing burden, New Jersey created the Senior Freeze program, officially called the Property Tax Reimbursement Program. The Senior Freeze locks in your property tax amount at the level it was when you first qualified and reimburses you for any increases above that frozen baseline amount going forward. But qualifying for the Senior Freeze requires meeting an income threshold that has not kept pace with Social Security cost of living adjustments over the years. Many New Jersey seniors who are just slightly over the income limit because of small Social Security increases find themselves permanently locked out of the program with no relief available. For a New Jersey senior homeowner, the gap between what they actually pay and what they would pay under the Senior Freeze program can easily exceed $3,000 to $4,000 per year. The third state is Illinois, and this is where the most aggressive equity stripping has historically occurred for senior homeowners across the state. Illinois uses a hybrid system combining tax certificate sales with a direct deed process that allowed investors to take homes worth hundreds of thousands of dollars over tax debts as small as $4,000. After the Tyler ruling, Illinois must now ensure surplus equity is returned to the homeowner, but fees, legal costs, and administrative charges still consume thousands of dollars before any surplus is ever calculated or returned.
Illinois does
have a senior citizens real estate tax deferral program, allowing seniors to defer their property taxes until the home is eventually sold or transferred to another owner. But this deferral accumulates as a lien against the property with 6% annual interest, meaning every single year of deferred taxes is another year of growing debt, sitting silently against the home equity that senior worked a lifetime to build. The fourth state is Massachusetts, and the issue involves local override votes. It's a complex exemption program and rising property tax bills that hit seniors on fixed incomes especially hard every year. Massachusetts has Proposition 2.5, which limits how much a town can increase its property tax levy each year to protect homeowners from runaway tax increases. But towns can hold local override votes to exceed this limit, and in communities with rapidly rising home values, these overrides have become increasingly common and increasingly painful for senior homeowners. Massachusetts also has the Clause 41 local property tax exemption that allows qualifying seniors to receive a meaningful reduction in their annual property tax bill. But this exemption is administered at the local level, and many seniors who are legally entitled to this relief never receive it, because they did not know the program existed or simply missed a filing deadline. The fifth state is Nevada, which surprises most people because Nevada has no state income tax and is widely marketed as one of the most retirement-friendly destinations in America. But aggressive tax certificate sale timelines, limited senior exemption programs in certain counties, and extremely high property values in areas like Las Vegas and Reno create serious and growing equity risks for senior homeowners throughout the state. Nevada seniors who own homes in high-value areas and miss a single property tax payment can find themselves caught in a certificate sale process that moves quickly and leaves very little room for recovery without significant legal help. Now, here are the 5 specific steps you need to take this week to protect your home equity, regardless of which state you live in. Step 1 is to file your homestead declaration immediately, if you have not already done so, because this single filing costing between $35 and $75 activates critical protections for your primary residence. Step 2 is to call your county assessor office directly and ask them to list every exemption, deferral, freeze, and circuit breaker program available to seniors in your specific area, because most seniors never ask and never find out what they qualify for. Step 3 is to check your property tax payment history and confirm you are completely current, because one missed payment is all it takes to start the certificate sale clock ticking in states like Nebraska and Illinois. Step 4 is to speak with an elder law attorney who specializes in property tax law in your specific state, because the rules and protections vary dramatically from county to county and from state to state. Step 5 is to share this information with every senior homeowner you know, because the single biggest reason seniors lose home equity through these systems is that they never knew these mechanisms existed until it was far too late. Your home represents a lifetime of hard work, sacrifice, and discipline, and no property tax system should be allowed to quietly drain that equity without your full knowledge and understanding. If this video helped you understand something important about protecting your home, share it right now with every senior homeowner you know, because this information is too important to keep to yourself. Subscribe to this channel, because every single week we cover the real rules and hidden mechanisms that every American homeowner and every American family absolutely needs to know about. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.